welcome back to the Citytilidie channel. You're all staying safe and well, and our feature, the programme watch, but the away version where we do a little table. And my apologies first, I didn't get down to Bournemouth, so I did order one online, and when I got it, I ordered the wrong one. I ordered Bournemouth against Brentford for some reason instead of Bournemouth against City. It was there, I must have clicked on the wrong thing, so I've had to reorder another Bournemouth versus City. So in the meantime, to fill the gap, of course, I did go down to Bristol. So I've got the Bristol City FA Cup one to go through. I'll have to go back on the Bournemouth one, guys. So my apologies, but we'll call this an FA Cup special. So we'll sneak this one in for this one. Please join me. So we have a look through it, see what's in it. I remember last season, Peter did a large one, like a proper FA Cup one. It was absolutely massive and quite a lot of content in it as well. So they charged a £5, and Bristol City are charging a £5 for this one as well. So let's see. It doesn't look as big. It's certainly not as big as Peterborough's last season, but we'll have a look through anyway. See if it's worth the £5. But you've got to give these clubs credit. They try and make a few quid extra, and why not? Who can blame them? Well done for trying. That's for sure. I hope it went well. Right, please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. Great to have you on board. Everything City, past, present, and forever, of course. And yes, if you are pushing buttons, or you've pushed all your buttons you want to, just push that little like button as well. I'm trying to get up to 25 likes if I can for these City vlogs. I'm getting near it. We don't get as many perhaps with these programme vlogs that we do, some of the others I do, but if you can support me, if you're watching it, just press that little button, that little like button, that little thumbs up button. I'd be very grateful. All right, let's get on to this. Of course, it took place. It was Bristol City 0, City 3 on the 28th of February 2023, an 8 p.m. kickoff. Yes, leading the table at the moment. We've still got Wolves on 8 out of 10, followed by Spurs on 7.5 out of 10, which I thought was slightly better than West Ham's, which is 7.5 out of 10 as well. Down at the bottom, not up at the bottom, down at the bottom. Of course, the Carabao Cup Saints game is 6 out of 10, and Arsenal just above it from the league match quite recently. That's the last one I did before this one, so they were 6 out of 10 as well. So let's see how Bristol City do with this one. A nice mix, a great cover, as you can see, the mix of Bristol City and Nigel Pearson, Pep, and Bristol City players and City players. A couple more Bristol City players, as you would totally expect, which is fair enough. Interesting, the change. Obviously, they wore a different kit, didn't they, on Tuesday night to what the normal kit is for the season. So obviously it might have been a special FA Cup one. Looking back at obviously the sort of an older version, a specially produced one. I'm not too sure on that. I've not read too much about that. So it's £5 for 68 pages, yeah. Flick through. It's not exactly rammed with stuff, this one. But as I said, you've got to make the money where they can. As a memento, a full house, why not? Why not charge a little bit extra and get a little bit of extra income in as well? It all helps. 13 pages of promotion and ads, about 19%, so that's towards the lower end, so that's good. In the specific City section, we've got a head-to-head. Yes, they had one more than us before Tuesday night. Of course, we've levelled that up now. Interesting, the slight misprint. They didn't do it deliberately, but we apparently were the First Division champions in 36-37, of course, but apparently we were the First Division champions in 1867-68. I think they got the 18. I think it should be 1967, guys, but I'm not going to go through it picking out all these. That's just one thing I noticed that stood out to me. Ones to watch is just profile of 4 of the key players. It would have been nice to have a profile on all the players, especially for like Bristol fans or neutral fans who might have been there. Just, it's just picking 4 key players. Could have been better just doing the whole team for more information. Haaland, KDB, Alvarez and Grealish are covered as the key players. Any other sort of stuff? Well, we've got obviously the mixed stuff, Bristol City against Manchester City, and the opening shot is literally just a few words and a picture of Bobby Decorvet-Reid, who back in 2018, of course, the first leg semi-final of the Carabao Cup, we've never played Bristol in the FA Cup before, he scored the opening penalty. Obviously, if you're there that night, I was there that night, in a 2-1 win for us, but obviously they took a 1-0 lead in that one, so it shows an image of that with a brief description. a hand in both camps. We've got David James, of course, who played for City, and he also made 84 appearances for Bristol. As I look back at what was my first visit to Ashton Gate, as you saw my preview show, obviously back in February 1977, it was a 1-0 Bristol win with City. City attempting to win a league title at that stage, had every chance, of course, and getting beat by Bristol didn't help the cause. And I look back at it, and Bristol City look back at it as well, which I don't blame them. We've not played that many key games between us. There's a piece on Jerry Gow, who, of course, spent a brief time with us. A moment in time, another trip to Ashton Gate for City, another defeat, yes, November 1979, as Corrigan is beaten by David Rogers. We still got a shocking record at Ashton Gate. It's improved a little bit after Tuesday, but it's not great. What did you collect for the FA Cup Grandad is what they call another feature, and it's just look at FA Cup Radio Times covers. You got one with Francis Leon about a sports personality. You've got one with Tony Buchan commenting about what it's like to win the FA Cup, and I think obviously that was for the season after. I think he did that in 1970, and there's a sort of breakdown of grandstand and what was happening on FA Cup final day for our game against Tottenham Hotspur, so that was quite interesting. Play per both, they've got Joe Royle, who of course made 124 appearances. I've not checked it for us, according to Bristol City, with 32 goals, and 101 appearances for Bristol with 18 goals. And it's special mentions for Jerry Gow, Sean Goetz, Andy Cole, and Keith Curler, who also play for Bristol and us. And that's it really as far as City Bristol. Not very wordy, not loads of stuff. As far as Bristol's concerned, apart from the captains and player interviews and the under-18s, the academy and the women's football, is there anything special? I found out their average crowds this season are just over 20,000, with 20,321. And of that total, 14,000 are season card holders. That's quite a good proportion. Zach Viner, who I did recognise the name, is the only player currently on Bristol City's books that was involved in the 2018 games in the Carabao Cup. They've got a nice kids zone, about 4 pages with a word search, spot the difference, spot the ground. Yes, I got all four of the ground, so I'm quite chuffed with that. City in cartoons is quite quaint. It's obviously, when they say City, they mean Bristol City, and it features artwork from a 5-1 Bristol win over Northampton Town back in 1955. When the art people in the papers, if they didn't have pictures of the games, used to do obviously cartoons of it and stuff like that. So that was quite good to read or look at. And that's it really for a fiver. Not fantastic, as I said. Remember back to that Peterborough last season, which was probably if you get the FA Cup semi-final or final ones from Wembley, they're a bigger programme. And I think they charged a fiver last year. It might have even been more, I'm not too sure, but it was packed. It was packed full of stuff. And unfortunately, this isn't. It's very little. The stuff obviously on their play is a bit more wordy, but a lot of the memories, a lot of the City Bristol stuff are mainly images rather than any sort of words. So it's okay. At a fiver, it was going to struggle for value for money, of course it was. As an income earner for Bristol City, I hope it worked out okay for him. I hope it was all right. But as a programme for me to read, and it's a memento, I don't mind paying the £5. It's a memento of the game, but it took me about 10 minutes to read through what I wanted to read, so not great. So as far as the table's concerned, it's not going to worry the top, that's for sure, but it will worry the bottom. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it the basic. I don't give any programme less than 6 out of 10. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. But sadly, all right, it won't go bottom, but it'll go next to bottom. I'm going to put it next to bottom, just above Saints for their Carabao Cup one, and just below Arsenal, the last one we did. So not great. Hopefully the Bournemouth one, when it arrives, will be much better. I had a flick through the Bournemouth-Brentford one, and it looked all right. But when I flicked through it, I was looking through it, and I hadn't realised it was Bournemouth and Brentford, and I thought, where's the City? So I can't see anything about City, and then obviously it finally clicked that I'd ordered the wrong thing. So be careful, guys, when you're ordering off the internet. This Bristol City one, should be available. It's cost a £5. It should be available through the Bristol City shop as well, because as I say, it's a special thing. And of course, if you have to buy it elsewhere, don't pay too much for it. It cost a £5. I wouldn't be paying more than £6 or £7 for it at top. So have a look anyway. So there you go, guys. So sorry, Bristol. Yeah, and not great, but I hope you made a few quid out of it. And next up, hopefully, fingers crossed, I've reordered it, will be the Bournemouth one. And then, of course, I will be going to Crystal Palace next week, so I'll be able to buy that while I'm there, so there won't be any problems with that. Useless, I am. Absolutely useless. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know any of your thoughts. It'd be great to hear from you. Yeah, and as a buy for interest to read, yes, probably not. As a memento, okay, it's fine. Help Bristol City out. Go and order it on their site. You can get it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again, that's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, please. Come on, City. Bye for now.